Yeah, it was in a rehearsal studio. Like Phil was reading the newspaper and we were playing and jamming, and I think Phil was waiting for something that would inspire him to do some lyrics and a melody to. And we were hanging out there forever, you know. But then all of a sudden I started playing ding 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 ding. He jumped up in the air. But that's it. First of all, I never wanted to be famous or any of the other stuff that goes with it. I just enjoyed playing music and guitar, especially I was fascinated with the single string. For me, it is like when Black Sabbath came out and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple, that's the music, the metal music that I use as a screen. And then and that screen I use to put I call it the art of lead guitar with pure self-expression. So basically I paint onto the screen that lead guitar, and I love that thing. I fell in love with, you know, that kind of great singer, great guitarist combination, you know, like Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, or Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck. You know, the singer, he starts the song, then the guitarist takes it to another level and then comes back and the singer finishes it. I just love that, you know. And in my middle years, I got all the other stuff out of my system, like acoustic instrumentals, electric instrumentals, did all sorts of different sessions with different musicians and stuff like that. And so, you know, I think my hardcore fans, they got so much guitar in my middle years. I think we have done it all, and I don't have to do this anymore because there's so much out there. Apparently I made over 80 albums or something like that. So, I mean, you know, there is the middle years of my life, you know, where I actually, well, there's the first part of my life that I call, when I made my musical contribution to the world, and but unconsciously, and I never knew it was having an impact on people because I was not thinking about that. I was just playing music, playing guitar, playing lead guitar. And when I was 23, I actually developed every year from the Scorpions from Lonesome Crow to UFO to Phenomenon to Fawcett to No Heavy Petting, Lights Out, Obsession, Strangers in the Night. That's my development, you know, my first stage of development. And then I helped out the Scorpions with Love Drive because Matthias he only was able to do half the album. And then I finished it, and that opened the doors for America for them because we already, you know, were very famous over there. We had a hit with Lights Out when I was 21 in '76, and I ran away because fame. Now I have to. Now all this freedom of, you know, oh, now you have to do things, and it becomes pressure. And I didn't want to know, but I came back in. Pete Way talked me in. He's good at that. So I did Obsession and Strangers in the Night, and that was basically it. That was the, you know, at that point, and I'm very grateful for that because I was 23 years old. It was 78. I was allowed to taste and experience what it is like up there, you know, the full range of fame and success. And I was looking at it and said to myself, I don't really need that, you know. I actually would prefer to start a new chapter and to experiment with music, look for an unknown singer and do something very small and just have fun doing that, you know. But of course, Peter Mensch was waiting with open arms, sending me straight back to New York to jam with Aerosmith. And that was a really confusing time because I didn't know if I was coming or going. But the first step in the right direction was done. I started, and the black and white V marks that. I started my own band, my own group, Michael Schenker Group. And that was the first step in the right direction. And for the next 10 years, you know, with Gary, and then with Graham, and then with Robin McAuley. After Robin and I separated in '92, I moved to Arizona and I dropped out. It's like the lost years of Michael Schenker. I mean, for the next 15 years, I built a recording studio, and I was just doing anything I wanted, and I was completely out of the loop. I didn't do interviews, I didn't promote anything, you know. I mean, I was still recording and stuff, but it was a very low key, you know, and it was actually the most rewarding part of my life, you know, the middle years. 2008, all of a sudden, I wanted to be on stage. I was always stage fright. I couldn't understand why I all of a sudden wanted to be on stage. Why? 180-degree turn. You know, and so I was really happy about that, you know, but you know, it's the middle years, you know. I got everything out of my system. I focused on life. I learned a lot about life, and I went through the things, you know, that if they don't kill you, they make you stronger, and all of that. Of course, I turned out from this shy, fragile, unstable little, you know, boy or whatever, into a stable, strong man, you know. And so now, and this is the perfect time now for celebration and the Michael Schenker Fest, of course. And so now I can continue where I finished when I was 23, and I can, you know, celebrate that, you know, my life and of course the era with Robin, Gary and Graham, and they're celebrating too, you know, and the fans are celebrating too, because it's a re-experience, you know, all of those guys on the same stage, and the newcomers, they can see what it may have been like, you know, many years ago.